Okay, this is a wrap up of my July reads for my reading journal. Again, this is an Archer Olive B5 notebook, and here we are. Okay, we'll go through July, and then we'll go back through and talk about where I am with my challenges and things like that. Okay, so this was my cover page. I went with kind of like a summerween type thing. So I like this part of it, but this up here, yeah, it caused me a lot of issues. So these are supposed to be like party lanterns, and that's my calendar. Yeah, I had to redo it multiple times. There's palm trees. I was going for like a textural type look, but anyway. Okay, I participated in, or I did the Summerween challenge that Gabby Reads does. Let me get my notebook from last year. Because last year was the first year that I did it. And okay, so this was the layout from last year. And I do get the stickers that are on Etsy that coordinate with the challenge. So, and this was just that distressed ink stuff, I think from Tom Holtz or whatever. Okay, so I read The Death Club. It was okay. Ghost Me Maybe, also okay. This was a graphic novel. This was really good. Barbie Just Won't Die. It had some funny stuff. It was like meta horror kind of thing. This was absolutely horrible. I should have DNF'd, but I wanted to keep reading because I was thinking that surely the villain was going to get their comeuppance in the end. So I continued to read, and I wish I hadn't. And I was thinking at the end of the year I might do a worst book of the year bracket, but I'm good. I'm good. I know this would be the winner. All right, so books that I read: Lore Olympus, Volume 10. This was a reread. This was for the color challenge. This was a good mystery. This is Post Malone's first volume of his graphic novel, horror graphic novel. It's okay. It's an interesting idea. Like, the artwork is really good, but the story is a bit much. It's anyway, you know, I'm a Posty fan, so I'm gonna read it. This was excellent. This is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but it's YA, and it's historical, but like a different kind of historical. This could have been better. This was okay. I didn't read Bound. I just got access to Unbound, so I thought it was okay. This was good. I listened to Wives and Daughters, and I saw the miniseries years ago, and I love it. And the story is just really good. I did not know that the author died before she finished the book, so that was something that I learned while listening. Cleo Dang Would Rather Be Dead. Very good, but also, you know, a lot about grief. With Friends Like These, I used this for my summer camp horror challenge. That was pretty good. The Turn of Ellie Black, another one for colors. It was disappointing. There was a bit of a plot twist that wasn't accurately presented in the rest of the book. So like, you're told one thing and then all of a sudden that's not true. So I don't consider that a twist. That's, I don't know, that's just not correct way to do stuff. Megan Quinn, The Way I Hate Him. Terrible. We Are For the Dark. I used this for my folk horror. Finally read Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is one of my priority reads. It's very funny. I laughed a lot, but I'm not a gamer. And so it just felt very repetitive, and just, I'm not the target audience. And then read Cat Williams' biography. Had some good quotes, so I had to add a little tip in here. Rite of Spring, which is the second graphic novel in the Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which is like a Dexter meets Richard Scarry. It's really good. That was a good horror, like a good Appalachia creature feature kind of thing. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. Oh boy. I had already planned to read this for one of my challenges. I needed a standalone YA fantasy, and then Amanda Maid raved about it on her last video. I was like, oh, well, I've obviously made the right choice. No, not for me. Not the right choice for me. And then I got the Daphne Perry Runaways set on Audible. Like, you get all 5 with 1 credit, so I listened to that first one. It was okay. Mostly Human Resources. This was an arc. A little disappointing. I do like stories with cryptids a lot, but this was trying to go too heavy into like a romance trope kind of thing, and I wasn't enjoying that. Another part of the Runaways. So I've got The Beautiful Ones. This, I thought it was an arc, but this was published in like 2018. I guess it's just a new cover, but it worked for bingo. This was good. It's a historical romance, but with characters that have telekinesis abilities. I don't know. She usually writes horror books. She doesn't only write horror, but she usually writes horror, and that's kind of what I was expecting. But that wasn't what this was. It was still enjoyable. Another Runaways book. And then this fit for my Western challenge. This was very good. There were a few chapters where it's a dual POV. There were a few chapters where one of the characters, it was just so boring. So that's why it wasn't a full 5 stars. Like it was a good chunk of the middle of the book on her POV that I was just bored. But other than that, it was very good, very scary, good Western setting. And then the last book was Rachel Harrison, Kiss, Slay, Replay. She's one of my favorite authors. This was very good. And it's kind of like a Groundhog Day horror. But, so she's going to her friend's wedding. In the first situation, there is a slasher guy. And then she wakes up and has to go to the wedding again. But it's not the same horror scenario each time. And it's very funny. Great humor, a lot of character development for that. So that's all the books that I read for July. We'll go look at my stats. So I got mostly ebook for this month. Yeah, graphic novel kind of high on that one. Star rating, pretty high for 5 stars. Not a 3-star. And then the average rating was 3.6. Most of my books from NetGalley, which is, you know, kind of the thing. And still, no things from friends and family. I mean, I would consider like birthday gifts and things like that. Like this would be friends and family, or just someone just wants to lend me a book. But my birthday's next month, so maybe in September I'll have something. I don't know. Genres, top genre was romance. Second was horror. Mystery and fantasy. 1 lit fic and 1 nonfiction, which was that memoir. I count memoir as nonfiction because I'm not going to have a separate category for that. Like I said, I finished this book and this book in July and this one in July. So I still have the Book of Living Secrets and The Whisper Man. And I might get this one on Audible. The narrator is British, and apparently it, I don't know, adds to the experience, which when does an accent not add to the experience? I did the standalone YA fantasy, so that's the only one I did for July on this challenge. Okay, and I am done with on the cover bingo. So Butterfly was the last one, and so The Beautiful Ones fit that category. I usually finish this challenge first. I don't know, it's the easiest and kind of the most fun. In my opinion, I like trying to find stuff like transportation. This is a horse. And this one says clock, and he's wearing a wristwatch. Some of it's pretty It's pretty fun. Get to be creative with it. So that one's done. I finished that in July. Horror bucket list. Like I said, I read my folk horror and my summer camp horror. I am reading the farm one right now. I think I'm gonna count it. I don't know. I'm only like 30% in. It is set on a farm, but I guess it depends on how much of it is set on the farm. And then still looking for that werewolf and vampire. I might reread Dracula, which is one of my all-time favorites, and it's been at least 10 years since I read it, so I might do that, but I'm still doing some research. Western Challenge, my 2026, The Night Pool, so I got that one done. So I still have published in 2025, Traditional Western and Weird West. I'm waiting for one to arrive from the public library for the 2025, and I plan to read Red Rabbit for that one. Goober, moving right along, did a classic, so I did Wives and Daughters, and then darker themes, When the Night Comes Knocking. So I just check it off there. So July is done. Now we're into August, and I think I've already finished this one. I finished a book yesterday at like 11:40, so I think I can definitely count that. Yeah, that one, the Women in White, Return of Ellie Black. So I just have Orange, and I'm still waiting on number 8. The book is already published. Like, I was waiting on an ARC from NetGalley, but it's already been published. But it's not on Kindle Unlimited, and my library, my public library, does not have it. So I've requested it through interlibrary loan through work, but I don't know anything yet about it. So I might need to research and find something else, but I really wanted to read that, what I had selected for that. Okay, so this is full. The Return of Ellie Black was book 200. So this part is done, so now we move into phase 2. And I will put 10, I can put 10 or 11. This one has 11 on it, but I could put 10 to 11 on each of these shelves. So I've got more to work with for the rest of the year. So we'll just see how that goes. So got that filled out. Nothing new to add to the DNF dump site. Romance Reader, this one is just moving along. Got more Devney Perry added in there. I don't have this by month. I just kind of do a tally there. And then top read for the month was Kiss, Slay, Replay. And that's it, right? Yep. Let me get into the monthly stuff. Okay, so that is July.